moment by moment. Getting set to tip it off. It'll be Michaela Elmore going up against Kennedy Brown to begin this one here at Clemson. And we are underway, and the ACC season is officially underway for both of these squads. This Duke team at 5-3 on the season. Clemson at 5-4, coming off a loss to Auburn, a game that they would like to have back. It was 29 turnovers in that game that really hindered them on this end of the floor. Duke trying to stop them on this opening possession. Whitehorn couldn't finish. Now Reagan Richardson, Jasmine, you pointed out in the open. You see your keys there, trying to limit turnovers, and they would love to take those and knock them down from the three-point range. Yes,
turnovers have really bothered Clemson early in the season, so they definitely want to limit those. They do like to get up the three-point shot, so you see one go up right there. And then Duke has really been challenged on the defensive glass, and so that is their focus, to do a better job of that so they can get their transition game going.
We were at shoot-around today for Clemson, and on this end of the floor, they really talked about pressuring the basketball and kind of giving Duke maybe a taste of their own medicine on this end of the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's your home floor. You know, it's an ACC opener. You want to come out aggressive and really assert yourself from the jump. And there you see, they force a tough shot by Taina Mair, get a rebound, and get their transition going.
Stop and pop, and the jumper is good to open up the scoring for Maddie Cluse and Clemson.
One of the veterans on this team that can really fill it up on the scoreboard.
Clemson team with a ton of experience. Duke hit 7 threes a game. Couldn't find their first one there. Now getting out in transition here is Dejante Harris. And looks like they're going to call that a block at the opposite end. This basketball will stick with Clemson. You see Duke starting 5 here. Talked about Reagan Richardson in the open. Ashlyn Jackson is also a double-figure scorer. Jaden Donovan's a highly touted freshman. And a really good freshman class for Duke. Ranked 6th in the country.
I saw in shoot-around, Clemson was also working on their ball screen offense against this Duke defense. They worked a little bit on the hedge, but here early, you're not seeing any of that.
A spin down low from a very fundamental player in the post, Amari Robinson, didn't result in 2.
Yeah, for sure. She kind of lost her footing a little bit, had to throw it up there. But glad to see them going into her early and getting her involved. In that Auburn game, they didn't do that so much, so I look forward to seeing Clemson really feed her the ball down low.
This will stick with Duke. That was one of your points also key for Clemson. Get Amari Robinson involved. She's averaging 16 points per game. That's a career high for this season for Robinson. Duke off to an 0-3 start from the floor on this end. They go down low to Kennedy Brown to snap that streak and get on the board.
And hopefully that's a good sign for Duke that Kennedy Brown starts the game with a bucket for them. At 6'6", she's not finishing too well inside right now, but she's definitely capable.
Kara Lawson wants her forwards to step up on the glass today. That's been one of the struggles for Duke that they're trying to correct. Taina Mair defending Day Harris here, and Harris takes her to the rim to draw a foul and a couple of free throws coming up. It's a good attacking mindset you like to see at Clemson early on here.
Yeah, and if you notice what I said earlier about Clemson working on this ball screen offense and shoot around, if you recognize, she pulled it back, they flipped the angle of the screen, and she was able to now attack the baseline and get to the basket to draw the foul.
I was getting my lesson on the horns sets from you earlier today. First free throw goes down for Harris, the grad student. You definitely say that a few times when you go over this Clemson roster. She spent her last 4 years at Pitt, Youngstown, Ohio native, before transferring to Clemson. Excellent passer. But she registers herself on the score sheet there to put Clemson in front.
You can definitely tell she's their floor leader, too. She keeps them steady. She pushes the pace, sets the pace, keeps them organized.
Oluchi Akanwa gets it down low. Nice feed to Kennedy Brown. So early on, those bigs getting involved, and I know you really like Akanwa's game, too.
I do, but I like the emphasis to, put pressure on the paint first. Games are, won from the inside out. So starting by feeding the post and having Kennedy Brown finish at the rim is a good option.
Fans were calling for Ruby Whitehorn to get the basketball here, so the players listen to him and get her the ball, but she'll pick it up with 8 on the shot clock. Oh, what a pass down low. Able to find a back-cutting Maddie Kloos that time for her second bucket of the game.
And I love that. You know they want to limit their turnovers. Not the best spot to pick the ball up and not have an option, but not turning it over. Still getting something good out of it and ending up finding her player for a layup. That's a great decision by Ruby Whitehorn. Here you see them get it to the wing. Akinawa finds Kennedy Brown on the block for the easy layup.
Donovan to Mair. Youth to youth there. 7 underclassmen out of the 10 players that Duke will show you. What a move. Quick first step with the block in the lane from an excellent defender in Jaden Donovan. What a rotation.
And you know that's what this Duke team likes to do. They are averaging 7.6 blocks per game. That's second in the NCAA. And here you see Jaden Donovan come over from the help side for the rejection. She is averaging 1.5 blocks per game herself.
Donovan playing a shade under 20 minutes per game. She has been really good.
Especially late. You can tell she's kind of settled in to what her role can be. She's long and athletic and really has great success when she uses that on the defensive end.
She kind of guarded Chloe Kitts in that South Carolina game.
Yeah.
Player who's got some inches on her height-wise, but doesn't back down as you see down low again. I think this is going to be Kennedy Brown getting called for the foul here on Amari Robinson. They do get Brown. That's just her first. So now Robinson will go to the free throw line here. Entered the season. Number 15 on Clemson's all-time scoring list. Don't forget, Saturday, December 16th, we have a college basketball quadruple header that starts at noon Eastern. But these are our featured matchups. Virginia Tech hosts Vermont and Blacksburg at 4 Eastern. Then Virginia squares off against Northeastern. That's right here on ACC Network and on the app. Gotta like the start for Clemson so far.
I was just going to say that. I think they are locked into their game plan. They got the pace where they want it. They're finding where they can be successful, and they're sticking to that.
The three. Duke not yet able to find the range from deep. That was Alucia Kanwa who took the jumper that time. Well, Amanda Butler, the head coach of Clemson, it was 2 words at shoot around: purpose and urgency for Clemson today. Like you said, right now it feels like they're coming out with that purpose. They break the press pretty easily here. Harris navigating for herself and getting 2 easy points.
You can feel it. You can see that their intention is to limit Duke to just 1 shot. They're getting out in transition, and they're really putting pressure on the paint and attacking the rim.
Well, the bench was into it there, led to a deflection. Now a steal. Mackenzie Kramer's checked in. Finds Kloos. Clemson feeding off momentum. And a 3 goes down for Kramer, who's shooting 37% from deep on the year.
I would say this is a great start for Clemson. You know, the game has really settled in, and they have asserted the way that they want to play.
9-0 Tigers run. On paper, definitely the underdog in this matchup. But the underdog howling early on their home court. Mair's 3, able to stem the tide. Snaps a 9-0 run for Clemson.
Mair also a quiet but very confident player. She can definitely hit big shots in big moments, and that right there was a shot that they really needed to see going.
Robinson had some trouble in the backcourt, now in a bit of a bind. And they got the violation, so this is going to go back to Duke. But what a start for Clemson. They're up 6, went on a 9-0 run. Duke trying to answer when we return. ACC Women's College Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we are all better off with an Ally.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
Our generation isn't turning away from the world's problems. Watch us fly ahead, rise to every challenge, and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
You remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Okay, get this right, and you get my free ticket to tonight's game. Right. Who is my all-time favorite receiver?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes, Larry Fitzgerald.
Hey, I heard you got an extra ticket to the game tonight. I would love to go.
Yeah, sure. It's all yours, Larry.
Thanks, Billy. I'll meet you out front. What?
Yeah, okay, it's Bob, but okay. Yeah.
He doesn't know your name, dude.
I guess I'm Bill now.
With Vivid Seats, when you buy 10 tickets, you can get your 11th free.
Mission: grab, do, and score Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Mr. Walker.
Oh, am I early?
Be dentist ready. Colgate Total Plaque Pro release.
Hey, TJ, who are we playing today?
Bro, it's a bye week. It's a Viper Fury concert.
Hey, TJ, see you in the pit.
Viper Fury!
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 is so good, the crew is giving every combination code names.
I got that sauce biscuit and some Tay-Tays.
Eggman and Saucy Boy. 2 hot coffees.
No matter what you call it, Wendy's breakfast is that breakfast. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Are you looking at 4x4s on cars.com again?
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
I was thinking of something more sophisticated. Huh. Fine. Keep the beard.
Cars.com. Where to next?
See Amanda Butler in the heart of that Clemson huddle there. She talked with us today about how proud she is really of the scoring that this Clemson team has done. It's certainly been more than we've seen over the last few years from the Tigers. Their last game, again, a 30-point loss to Auburn, scored 53 points in that game. They turned it over so much, it was almost as if they didn't have the ball. But right now we're seeing when they don't turn it over, this is the high-scoring, high-octane team they can be.
Yeah, turnovers really take you out of your rhythm. You know, it gives momentum and it gives possessions to the other team. So when they can take care of it and really get the shots that they want and execute to a score, you can see that they're very successful.
Oluchi Akanwa, the 3 comes up short. It's been a consistent theme so far for Duke, but they're able to draw a foul going for that offensive rebound. On the opposite side, Sarah Lawson, the head coach for Duke, got a chance to chat with her as well before the game. Talked about the moments that her team has been in so far. You had the big stage against Stanford, then South Carolina. Also played teams like Columbia. That's another really good team. Their non-conference schedule is tough, and it's prepared them for this ACC slate. Cable in for the first time. Couldn't hit. The offensive rebound, though, from Emsbo. Maybe another chance. Now Clemson finally gets the board, and a foul called on Akanwa.
Yeah, this Duke team has definitely been tested. They even, had that exhibition against USA Basketball. So they have had challenges to grow early in the season. And they're off to a slow start right now. But as the game settles, I imagine that, with some substitutions here and there, that they will get their rhythm going. They're just 1 for 6 from the three-point line right now.
That Stanford game, 3-point overtime loss. Had a 7-point overtime win against Georgia. The South Carolina game lost 77-61, but that was a 55-55 game in the fourth quarter. They came back in that one. They were resilient. Mair pressuring the basketball against a good score in Whitehorn, and this is off of Duke. It'll stick with Clemson.
Duke looking like their adjustment is to be more aggressive to the paint. Early in the game, Clemson has really had a lot of success getting down lane lines and getting in the paint in transition. So you see Emsbo making a stop.
Delaney Thomas nearly had to steal there, the impressive freshman. Instead, Kramer, who's knocked down a 3 so far in this game, gets it back, and Clemson can kind of reset here. The deflections kind of going Clemson's way early on in this one. Duke has struggled from the field as well. They're just 3 of 10 offensively. Chance to redeem themselves here. Mair pushing it up to Cable. Now the feed to Richardson. Her shot off the mark. Dove for it. Clemson might have some numbers here. Duke did well to get back. Nia Valentine, a 48% three-point shooter, books the triple there.
You definitely don't want to give her too many wide open looks like that. She will definitely put that in. She's a tremendous three-point shooter.
Clemson 2 of 2 from deep. Duke 1 of 7 from distance in this one. Cable, there's the second three for Duke.
One of the sophomores I was talking about earlier that is really shooting it well from behind the arc. Duke has had three-point success, even though they're not showing it right now. They're getting the looks they want, just not putting them in. And Emma Cable is definitely one of those players that's able to get hot from the three-point line.
Cable, a native of Ontario, Canada, played with Canada during the FIBA portion of her summer. Meanwhile, a tough drive to the rim from Eno Inyang. And she had a second chance at it. Couldn't get that to drop. Maybe it was deflected a bit. 6-point lead for Clemson. Underdog up early in this one. And the ACC opener for both teams. All of a sudden, back-to-back threes for a Duke team, specifically Reagan Richardson, that can get hot in a hurry.
And there you see a team just sticking to their identity. Even though the shots didn't fall, they still want to make sure that they're taking them and that they stay confident in their shooting ability.
Don't get away from it.
Don't get away from it. It's a long game.
6-0 run for Duke, their best spurt of the game. A foul called on the Blue Devils here. Look at these threes here, Jazz.
I mean, you see a great shooter in Nia Valentine, just a wide open look that she drains. And here you see sophomore Emma Cable with a nice look from Taina Mair. You know, it's raining threes in here early, you know, from, I don't know. I feel like Duke has gotten a lot of looks but haven't gone in, and then the ones that Clemson have got, they have drained.
And we were saying it earlier, if you're a fan of offense, this might be your spot tonight to watch a basketball game, because both of these teams can score in a hurry.
Clemson has a lot of firepower offensively, a lot of players that can score it, and then Duke just plays a very efficient offense.
Nice steal from Mair, and she's able to finish at the opposite end. So defense to offense, the transfer from Boston College gets rewarded there. Mair led the ACC in total assists as a freshman last year at Boston College before transferring. Really good on this end of the floor as well, locking down in a defensive stance against Valentine. Inside of 20 seconds to go, and it's been an entertaining opening quarter. Second block of the quarter for Jaden Donovan.
Here you see Robinson thinks she had space on the baseline, but Jaden Donovan comes over again for her second rejection of the game.
Your fellow DMV native?
That's right. She is. She went to Sidwell Friends, played in the McDonald's All-American game. You know, we produced some good talent coming out of that DMV area.
They're trading threes. Meanwhile, Valentine at one end, Cable on the other. Jazz, this is the high-octane start. We were looking for 19 to 18.
It's to really score it, but to also play a complete game on both sides of the ball. And they got themselves out to a good start early because of their defense.
Foul called down low on Whitehorn. Amari Robinson, who you saw on that graphic, picked up a rebound in the first quarter, becoming now just the 5th Clemson player to have over 1,200 points in her career and 800 rebounds. There
That's
she
special.
is. It is special. Reagan Richardson, whose role has expanded so much this year, going to be at the top of ACC scouting reports throughout the course of the conference season. Donovan couldn't get the putback. Avoids getting called for the foul in the backcourt after. Now Daishanette Harris can operate the offense for Clemson. Did a nice job of getting Valentine involved from three-point range. They were looking for her there. Well defended by Duke, though. Whitehorn got called for a travel. One too many steps on the drive.
Duke looking like they're picking up their defensive intensity a little bit. And even Coach Lawson said that she wanted to challenge her team to be better defending one-on-one.
That one-on-one defense gets them the ball back here. Looking going to feed Donovan. Saw a cutting Kennedy Brown. The pass went off her fingertips and out of bounds.
It's a good look right there. I think Kennedy Brown can just catch that. You know, she had a defender in front of her, maybe thinking ahead to where she would land instead of just coming down with the ball on 2 feet.
Brown, one of the veterans on a relatively young Duke team. Spent her first 3 years at Oregon State. Kind of anchors that defense on the interior. Brown. Now they're going to bring some pressure, then back off it in the backcourt.
Yeah, she is one of their vocal leaders when it comes to defensive schemes. Her and Reagan Richardson, they really keep the team organized on offense and defense.
You saw there, she was in the paint, forced Clemson to take an outside shot that they couldn't hit. Now Donovan can push here, whips it out to Richardson, who is such an impressive shot maker in that loss to South Carolina. Richardson had 17 points in that game. Ashlyn Jackson, the sophomore from Texas, will back it out. Ran into trouble, and Clemson gets another steal. Kickball called. Looks like they got cable on the kickball. But right now, Clemson is kind of flipping the script from their last loss to Auburn, where they turned it over 29 times.
Yeah, you really just see the urgency and the purpose, being intentional about what they're trying to accomplish. You can see that here.
Those are the two words at the Clemson shoot-around, urgency and purpose. Came out with a purpose today. Another block down low. This time Richardson got the piece of it. Donovan tried to come over for her third block. Didn't get the block, but might have forced a travel.
Duke is going to defend that paint. You know, you have to know the scouting report. That is what they do. They make it really hard to score at the rim. And while Clemson had some success early, it wasn't off of just a one-on-one matchup. It was moving, getting in transition like that, and getting to the rim.
I know that's something you wanted to see today, and what a steal that was from Whitehorn. Just kind of snatched it out of the air there.
Yeah, she's tremendous in transition. Watching the film on her, when she can really get going out in space, she finishes at a high clip, and she's just really good.
When Whitehorn signed with Clemson at the time, she was their highest-ranked signee in program history out of Detroit. Brown can step back and make that. It was a long two that didn't go. Richardson came flying in. Now she's emerging up.
That's two offensive opportunities kind of back-to-back here where Duke didn't capitalize and finish. They're good on the offensive glass, but they need to capitalize on those moments.
That was an emphasis for Duke. Crash the glass, get better at that. Next step, though, is turning it into points. And you look at their games this year, maybe 2-3 possessions are a difference maker. And it will be an ACC play this year when games go down to the wire. Duke, meanwhile, hasn't scored in about 2.5 minutes here. A 3-point Clemson lead. Harris whips it to the corner. Wide open, Kluse. Long on the three, but another chance coming up here for the Tigers.
And that's the challenge for this young Duke team, is to be able to consistently defensive rebound.
First ACC game for both teams. Shot clock dwindling here for Clemson. Kluse, the hook shot. Oh, what a roll.
I really love the patience on that possession. They got the offensive rebound, and they passed it around to execute to their best shot.
Whitehorn had to catch up the opposite way to a speedy Reagan Richardson, and Richardson's going to go to the free throw line. Neither team, especially Clemson, feels like is getting sped up by the other team's pace, to your point.
Neither team is getting sped up, but I will say in spurts, you can see where Duke doesn't look like they're executing the way that they might want to. They're not getting the shots that they would particularly like to take, and settling maybe for some poorer shots. And I think that's a credit to Clemson's defense for being aggressive and for keeping them on their toes, keeping them guessing, switching things up.
Sunday afternoon, we have a women's basketball doubleheader here on ACC Network. If you're a Duke fan, you want to stick around for that one. Facing off against a tricky Florida Gulf Coast team at noon Eastern, followed up by number 18 Louisville. They won 4 straight, and Kentucky. Both are also available on the ESPN app. Florida Gulf Coast was a tournament team a season ago, as Duke continues throughout the course of their non-conference slate to play teams that were in the NCAA tournament or in the WNIT a season ago. It's been a tough non-conference slate. That'll pick back up for them. Clemson's played a tough non-conference schedule as well. Tigers nearly had an upset against Mississippi State.
I think it's one of the best things you can do is to just continually challenge your team, especially in a tough conference like the ACC, to prepare going into that by playing tough teams. I mean, it sets you up for success.
It's a tough league, and you know it. 5:53 to go in the second quarter. Duke has some of their benching right now. The bench for Duke has been superb. Meanwhile, Mackenzie Kramer will kick it out. 4 on the shot clock here. Kluse's 3. What a shot from Maddie Kluse.
She is off to a tremendous start for this game. Really feeling it.
7 points for Kluse, 3 of 5 from the field. Aluchi Akanwa made a nice cut on the give and go there. Good 2-woman game with Camilla Ensbo. Now Duke with some backcourt pressure.
Let's go Tigers! Let's go Tigers! Let's go Tigers! Let's go Tigers!
5 on the shot clock here for Clemson. Didn't get the shot they wanted initially, and it'll wind down.
Clemson off to a great start to this game, and here you see Maddie Kluse with the shot clock running down. She trains the 3.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables. But last week, I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time. While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And to handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
You remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners makes sense for you.
Okay, get this right, and you get my free ticket to tonight's game. Who is my all-time favorite receiver?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes, Larry Fitzgerald.
Hey, I heard you got an extra ticket to the game tonight. I would love to go.
Yeah, sure. It's all yours, Larry.
Thanks, Billy. I'll meet you out front. What?
Yeah, okay, it's Bob, but okay, yeah.
He doesn't know your name, dude.
I guess I'm Bill now.
With Vivid Seats, when you buy 10 tickets, you can get your 11th free.
Bust.
When I first joined the board at Papa John's, I brought some big ideas.
We're gonna need more pepperoni.
But my biggest idea, the Shakaroni pizza.
Bigger, 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 bigger. More is better.
It's extra large with extra cheese and covered in more than 60 pepperonis.
When I say a handful of pepperoni, I mean my handful.
What makes Shakaroni huge is that Papa John's donates $1 from every pizza to the Papa John's Foundation.
1, 2, 3, Shakaroni!
Pizza gets bigger when you Shakaroni. Only at Papa John's.
Sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted sisters.
We talked about Clemson forward Amari Robinson with 1 rebound in this game, joining the 1,200-point, 800-rebound club. One of 5 players in Clemson Tigers history. She's at the top of that list, Barbara Kennedy, one of the best players of all time in ACC women's basketball. Played at a time with no three-point shot, yet look at all those points for Barbara Kennedy. Over 3,000, just incredible. You see her jersey hanging up in the rafters here. A 3-time first-team All-ACC player throughout her career.
Can you imagine how many rebounds she would have had if there was a three-point line?
Right, those long rebounds. Those start the break. Meanwhile, here's one of those rebounds off a three-point shot. Valentine's hit 2 threes already, well off the mark on the opportunity to hit a third there. Lucia Kanwa came out to contest. Now Ashlyn Jackson will take a 3 of her own and hit it at the opposite end.
She has had some big games this season already, so that is another player that can definitely get hot from outside.
She's another player who's grown into a bigger role.
Yeah, she only played about 13 minutes a game last year. It was definitely a reserve player, so she's learning to be consistent with her effort and in her production.
Mackenzie Kramer, we had the chance to meet her before the game, not backing down at the opposite end. Transfer from Lehigh.
She is also now 2 of 2 from the three-point line.
She's a 37% three-point shooter, was superb from deep during her days in the Patriot League. Trying to answer back at the opposite end there was Taina Mair, and she couldn't hit. 4-point game, Clemson on top. Dwindling minutes of what's been a really entertaining opening half in the ACC opener for both teams. Nice poke away there from Mair, her second steal. Now back comes Zakanwa in transition. Mair on the dive. Mair able to hit in the paint.
I like that decision for her not to settle for that short jumper and to actually get to the rim and finish.
She's got 7 points. This Duke team a little thin at the point guard spot after Vanessa De Jesus' injury. So Taina Mair may be thrust into a larger role than even anticipated after moving over from Boston College. Going down low here. May turn into a tough angle for Eno Inyang. Numbers for Duke. A travel called on Emsbo. Transfer from Yale. For the most part, there have been some really good decisions down low in the lane.
Here you see Duke in transition. Akinawa pushing the break. Mair passes up the short jumper to get the better high percentage finish at the rim. Great decision there.
Mair is another player who really does not get sped up. When you turn on the film and watch her, that was another case of that.
Yeah, she has great poise for being a young point guard. She had great success at Boston College last year. She led the ACC in assists. She was on the All-ACC freshman team. You know, her ceiling is high.
Saw the press there from Duke again. Not too long ago, the student section behind us was calling for Duke to stop pressing. I don't know if you ever play and listen, like cater to what the student section says?
I mean, it would have to be real obnoxious and directed at me for me to pay attention. I kind of zone out.
See, that doesn't happen when you're at the broadcast table.
No, it might. These headphones got to help a little bit.
2 minutes to go. 5 on the shot clock here for Clemson. Looks like it's going to be another travel call this time on Clemson.
Yeah, they have a few travels. They haven't quite been turning it over live ball, but they do have a few travels in this game.
Turnovers definitely down, though, from their last game. 5 overall for Clemson. Down low, the feed to the freshman Thomas. Couldn't put the finishing touches on.
An uncharacteristic miss from Delaney. She really scores really efficiently when she gets in the game. She had a great game against South Carolina on Sunday.
Danielle Roush, the grad student in her final year of college hoops. Had the 4 years at Michigan. And then Roush went here with the initial mindset of being a GA. Opted to play another year, and now she's doing this.
She is the coach on the floor. She's poised and steady. She's a leader for this team. And there you see her just get her feet set and knock down a 3.
She tries to close here on Cable. Did well to get out there, but a long rebound. Duke, second chance opportunity. Strong there from Thomas, who's still searching for a shot in this one. Roush in the backcourt here with Daishanette Harris. This is what Robinson can do. She can also dribble it up the floor. They list her as a forward, but she's such a dynamic player.
Very versatile. Poised, they go to her when they need a bucket. Couldn't finish that one, but there you see another offensive rebound by Clemson. Another offensive rebound by Robinson. That's what Duke doesn't want to do, is let them continue to get second opportunities and third opportunities.
Jazz Robinson just kept fighting there. There's a reason why she joined the 800 rebound club today here at Clemson. Now a three from Robinson. What a possession there for Amari Robinson.
It's beautiful. It's almost like you knew that shot had to go in, just from the effort on the offensive glass to the ball movement and extra passing, just to find their best player wide open at the top of the key.
6 offensive rebounds for Clemson in this opening half, the latest of which just gave them an 8-point lead. Harris went down. Shot clock's off here for Duke. Potentially last possession of the half. What an answer there from Reagan Richardson. Now 3 seconds here, but going to be tough to get it up the court for Clemson. Half-court heave. A frantic ending to an entertaining opening half of action in the ACC opener for Duke and Clemson. Duke will get the opening possession of the second half. They hit a 3 to end the first half. Looking for a 3 to begin the second half. Ashlyn Jackson couldn't hit. Now Clemson bursts out in transition. Kluse had the superb opening half. Off to Robinson, and one opportunity to begin the third quarter.
And I like it. You see Clemson attacking the paint right away, getting the ball to their leader down low. When they need a bucket, they know that they can go to her. And here you see her running the floor, just keeping her composure and patience and finishing over the 6'6" Kennedy Brown.
Not easy to do. Robinson averaging the career high 16 points per game. Converts and cashes in on the and one to put her team back up 8. Matches the largest Clemson lead.
See Clemson with that 1-2-2 press, kind of back to their 2-3 zone.
Duke shot 11 of 27 from the field in that opening half. A turnover there, and Clemson gave it right back. Leads to Donovan having an easy deuce.
I like that play for Ashlyn Jackson. She made the turnover, but she stuck with the play, got it back, and made the assist to her teammate, Jaden Donovan, down the floor.
So, Jazz, if you're Clemson and Amanda Butler, your team only had 5 turnovers in that opening half. They had 29 in the loss to Auburn. That really hindered them. You want to find a way to keep that number down. They were really good with limiting those turnovers through the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, you want them to stay aggressive, though. Definitely keep the turnovers down, but stay aggressive. Where they've had success is they've been intentional about the shots that they take. And there you see Amari Robinson taking a shot that she's capable of making from the 3-point line and just confidently shooting it and going in.
Robinson has 11. The answer at the other end from Kennedy Brown. If you're going to win a game like this, you need your emotional leaders to step up. Amari Robinson's doing that.
Absolutely, but Coach Butler did talk about transition defense being one of the keys for them against this Duke team. And if there's a way that Duke's going to get back into this game, it is going to be by picking up the pace. They're better when they play fast.
Here's the pace. Mair. The trailer is Jackson. Reagan Richardson tried to shovel it to Donovan. Clemson forces another turnover, and there are 2 Blue Devils still down in the backcourt. That led to numbers for Clemson and an easy finish for Ruby Whitehorn.
Richardson just kind of had her mind made up. You can see as she drove the baseline that she was going to look for her teammate to dish, and great job by Clemson to just get the deflection to lead their break and finish in transition.
Largest lead for Clemson now. It's up to 9. Jackson. There was a foul called. We'll see where it is. I think, Jazz, they might have called that foul in the paint. They got Donovan. Just a little inbounded on the baseline here. Kara Lawson's team was so resilient against South Carolina at home in their last game. Were down, came back to tie that game in the fourth quarter, ultimately lost. But in a comeback position again here, this time on the road in their ACC opener after yet another turnover.
And you know, Kennedy Brown was off to a great start in this game. They went inside to her multiple times, but then you see her kind of turn it over there, which leads to another and one by Amari Robinson.
Robinson just bringing the heat emotionally, inside, outside. Let's look at it again.
She's strong, she's crafty, she's versatile, showing you that she can finish with the contact. A chance at another three-point play.
Robinson up to 13 points in the game now. There's the third foul, by the way, on Kennedy Brown. That's a big foul down low on their starting 6'6" center. And meanwhile, Robinson taking over to begin this second half and has extended the largest Clemson lead to 12. Kara Lawson's young team on the road, 7 underclassmen. Can they find an answer? Jackson couldn't hit the three. One of those sophomores. This is going to stick with Duke, so they'll get a break here after the miss.
This Clemson defense, the zone, is really, you know, just slowing the Duke defense down. They're really having to take their time and move the ball around to find the shots they want. And oftentimes it's ending with a three-point shot or a turnover so far. So, you know, I just really would like to see them settle in and really maybe get Jaden Donovan going in that high post area. She did a great job at that against Georgia, against their zone, and maybe she can get going again.
Mid-range jumper off the mark. It's going to go back to Clemson. A Clemson team that doesn't look like they're coming off a 30-point loss. Again, the 2 words to shoot around for Amanda Butler as Nia Valentine checks in for Clemson. And on the Duke side, Delaney Thomas going to make her way in. There's Amanda Butler. She said urgency and purpose are our most important things today. And she really broke down understanding how much this game means. It's got to mean a lot for your confidence, too, when you come off a 30-point loss.
And I would say that that is the luxury of experience. You know, a short memory, you know, a win or a loss doesn't affect the way you come out in the next game as far as your intensity, your identity, your purpose, your urgency. So they came out today and just, you know, they want to win on their home floor, and they are doing a good job so far.
Kenzie Kramer is checked in, and alley-oop inbound to Whitehorn, who then gets her own board, goes up strong, and couldn't quite finish. Maybe third time's the charm. It is you-know-who. It's Amari Robinson once again.
I love that effort from Whitehorn. She picked up 2 fouls early in the game, so she kind of sat, couldn't get a rhythm. But to see her have that kind of energy on the glass, it's good to see. And good things come out of that activity on the O board.
The drive and a much-needed Duke bucket for Ashlyn Jackson.
And I think they can do more of that, really getting the ball in the paint off the dribble to finish at the rim.
Jackson grew up in a basketball family. Her dad, Nathan, played for Rice. She was a McDonald's All-American in high school. Meanwhile, Clemson whipping it around. Whitehorn, her 3 came up short, but right into the hands of Robinson, who nearly had another second chance opportunity there. Duke was resilient in the opening half. Couldn't hit a 3 there. It was a good look, though, for Mair. And then in the lane, Camila Emspo, one of the players that Kara Lawson challenged to have a good day on the glass, gets the board and draws a foul. Michaela Elmore checks out for Clemson. Looks like Maddie Ott's going to check in. And Robinson gets a much-deserved breather. Feels like a good time if you're Amanda Butler to get a player like Robinson a rest.
Yeah, for sure. They have the momentum. You know, she's obviously made a tremendous impact in the second half, so just get her a breather. And, you know, when you see plays like that, you might think about wanting to put her back in.
Yep. That's the steal from Akonwa. They had trouble with Duke's backcourt pressure there. And then a tie-up called. Possession arrow is going to stick with Duke, so great job from Kara Lawson's team there to force the turnover in the backcourt. Now they can try to pull within 10, maybe single digits. foul called on Inyang, who's essentially taking the spot of Robinson right now.
I like the emphasis to get the ball inside. You could take in a few threes this half that hadn't fallen, so going inside off the dribble, off the pass, it's just a good decision.
Stepping in for a long two is Mair. Got a shooter's roll.
She's good in that mid-range.
10-point lead for Clemson. They had it at 14 at one point, under 5 to go in the third. ACC Women's College Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we are all better off with an Ally.
Call Jill.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Santa Fe with America's best warranty.
Right now, get 0% APR financing on the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Bust.
When I first joined the board at Papa John's, I brought some big ideas.
We're gonna need more pepperoni.
But my biggest idea, the Shakaroni pizza.
Make it bigger, make it bigger. More is better.
It's extra large with extra cheese and covered in more than 60 pepperonis.
When I say handful of pepperoni, I mean my handful.
What makes Shakaroni huge is that Papa John's donates $1 from every pizza to the Papa John's Foundation.
1, 2, 3, Shakaroni!
Pizza gets bigger when you Shakaroni. Only at Papa John's.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach.
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
I wish for the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro. Sean.
Do you mean this one, the one with titanium? Switch to Verizon. You can trade in any iPhone and get the new iPhone 15 Pro on them.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a new iPhone 15 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
You're a lot like this chocolate deluxe bar.
Full of energy and ready for whatever the day has in store.
Who are you texting?
I'm shopping for a car on CarMax.
A car?
Are you sure you can afford that?
That's a big purchase.
Relax. I got pre-qualified and shopped by my monthly budget, so I know it's a good decision. Unlike Jenny's no piercing.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it...
pretzel bun? On the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, it's checked by experts for that feeling of real.
Amari Robinson leading the way for Clemson and an excellent start to the third quarter, Jazz.
Yes, Amari Robinson doing what Amari Robinson does. She is a scorer. She is leading this team. She has 16 points for the game, 11 of those points in this third quarter alone.
Amari Robinson, far more than just a basketball player. She's student teaching this year. Gets up at 4:15 a.m. This is her daily routine. Picks up their Clemson Life Manager, which is a part of a Clemson program for men and women with intellectual disabilities that joins them at practice. Arrives here at the Coliseum, 5 a.m. They have weights from 5:15 to 5:45 a.m. Then basketball practice. The team collectively decided, let's start at 6 a.m. this year, go until, for her, 7:30, so she can teach at Riverside Middle School from 8:10 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. And at 7:30, Shelly Greenman, their director of basketball ops, has an alarm on her phone, and yells out, Amari's got to go. Then she runs off the court, quick shower, dash to school, where she, again, is student teaching. When Amanda Butler initially signed her, recruiting her, as Cluse falls away, couldn't hit the shot, she knew that the special education program was really in the heart of what Amari Robinson wanted to do as a student athlete here on campus. And that has really been cool to see her journey play out. And the team also collectively join in on this amazing story.
Yeah, it's like she has 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Basketball player, a student, and a teacher. Incredible.
There's Amari on the bench. She has 11 points, as Jazz pointed out in this quarter, 4 or 5 from the field. She's going to check back in right on cue. But it really is a passion of hers, something she loves to do each and every day, teaching it. At one point on Tuesday, she was also driving to Greenville, South Carolina, about 40-ish hour away, depending on traffic, for a grad school class. It started at 5 p.m., and she wouldn't get back home until about 9 p.m. That class is finished, thankfully, so she doesn't have to do that 5 to 9 p.m. portion of the day as well now. But that was just another leg in the journey for her. Kramer, open three! Count it, plus a foul! Mackenzie Kramer shooting 37% on the season from deep. Coming up big. Her first season in a Clemson uniform has been fantastic so far.
She's 3 of 3 from the three-point line, and there you see the third one go in right there, and now she has a chance for the 4-point play. You know, I love that Amari story. Also because of Coach Butler, I think it's important when you choose which school you want to go to, what coach you want to play for, that you have someone that supports you in your passions.
As she said, when we sign a player knowing what they want to do, we want that to be just as much of a part of our team as it is for them individually. And it truly is a part of their team, deciding to practice at 6 a.m. every day collectively. A much-needed bucket there for Camilla Emsbo. Keeps this a 12-point game. This young Duke team versus a very experienced Clemson group. The experience has been on display today for the Tigers. Again, can't overstate enough that they're coming off a 30-point loss to Auburn, Clemson, but have not looked like that today. Really flipped the script around emotionally.
Yeah, Day Harris was great in that Auburn game despite the loss. And right there, I think, she could have been aggressive and really taken that left-hand drive all the way for a layup.
Kramer has 6 on the shot clock. Klus had to kind of put that ball in her shooting pocket. Meanwhile, back to their way, directing the fast break is Akanwa. Quick feed to Thomas. Got a foul called. It is a block. So that'll count. A big bucket for Duke. And a big call there, deciding that was a block.
Yeah. A good defensive possession leading to an offensive possession. I'd like to see this be maybe a momentum shift for Duke. Laney has been quiet, but this is a great opportunity for her to, get a nice, easy free throw and get a rhythm going.
Well, that was a big free throw to make it a single-digit game. Ruby Whitehorn will check back in. Feels like maybe a door open for Duke at the end of this third quarter. Final few minutes of it coming up here, and it feels like a big juncture in this game.
I'd like to see them keep up the pressure. They definitely have the youth and the legs to be able to do that.
Yeah, you're saying for this Duke team without Young there's no getting tired yet. Cable clapping her hands after some nice defense there. And now it'll earn Duke the possession off a deflection. Cable, just talked about her in the corner, hit a couple of threes in the first half. Nice battle on the board there from Akanwa. They can reset. Akanwa's calling for it. Steps in for the mid-range shot. Rebound to Enyo.
Great activity on that offensive board by Akanwa. She leads them in rebounding. She's great on the offensive glass. I would have liked to see that one fall for her, but they're going to need more plays like that.
Nine-point Clemson lead. Feels like a really important 2:21 left in this third quarter. ACC Women's College Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we are all better off with an Ally.
Call Jill.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Santa Fe with America's best warranty.
Right now, get 0% APR financing on the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Go to school, take out the loans. Get a job, pay back the loans. Go to school, take out the loans. Get a job, pay back the loans. Go to school, take out the loans. Get a job, pay down the interest on the loans. Start a side hustle just to break even.
The system worked for them. Now it's time to build a system that works for us.
Luxury is where you are. That's Daz. Häagen-Dazs.
Oh, come on. Nah.
Condado Tacos, where there's enough yum for everyone. Making tacos full of fresh, clean ingredients. And we've got the awards to prove it. So grab your buds and let's crave together. Condado.
Just the right crunch to silence the Sunday scaries.
I went to Mattress Firm and got matched with the best mattress for me. I have 120 nights to decide if I like it.
Mattress Firm.
Should we sell the car and get something bigger?
Yeah, we can do both on cars.com.
But what if it's twins? What if it's quadruplets?
Are you freaking out?
I got this.
Cars.com. Where to next?
Wear wigs? Try new Got2b Flash Glue Remover. It doesn't damage your scalp and is made with aloe vera and castor oil, designed to safely and easily remove wigs.
ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tenenbaum, weekdays from Mark's Charlotte studio in his very fancy basement at 4 Eastern. They'll continue talking college football and have the latest from around the conference right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Jasmine Thomas, Jason Ross Jr. There's Amanda Butler, the head coach of Clemson. You liked that last time out, Jazz.
Yeah, I did. You know, Clemson only had 5 turnovers in the first half, and they just had 2 back-to-back that Duke didn't quite capitalize on. But coming into the final period of the game where you've controlled, you know, the tempo for the most part of it, that's a great timeout just to regain composure. And there you see, they come out of the timeout and they get a bucket.
And another second chance one. There was a block from behind by Donovan. You look at Kara Lawson on the sideline for Duke, and you have to wonder what she thinks about the rebounding in this matchup. Is in this quarter. It's, again, felt like it's favored Clemson and created second chance opportunities. Shot clock winding down. Taina Mair, tough contested shot, short. Here's a rebound for Kara Lawson's group thanks to Jaden Donovan. The highly touted freshman gets a much-needed bucket there.
Another player that's active and great on the offensive board for them. You know, if Duke can string together some hustle plays, get some stops, and get themselves back in this game, they can do it. But
starts on this end of the floor. You mentioned with those stops. Approaching the final minute of the quarter. Tie up on the floor. Possession arrow would keep it at this end. This is what Kara Lawson wanted today, these rebounds.
Yeah, she did. You know, anytime you can get extra possessions for your team, Jaden Donovan is great at that, and get a finish. You know, it gives your team momentum.
But today, Jasmine, we look at the second chance points, and Clemson up 10-2 in that category.
Yeah, they've done a great job on the offensive glass, and like you said, they've capitalized on it. They've turned those offensive rebounds into points.
And a fun ACC opening night for both of these teams. 2 teams with 5 wins. Robinson, oh, she cashes in on the 3. Can't stop her tonight.
You know, some confusion or miscommunication by Duke there. I'm not sure who was supposed to get out to the contest, but You know, you leave their best player wide open for a three. Not what you want to see right now in this game if you're Kara Lawson.
Richardson couldn't answer. The run out for the board. Donovan tried to save it, couldn't. Robinson has 19 points in this one. 3 of 3 from three-point range.
Robinson, she's been hot all game, and there you see it. You leave me open, I'm going to knock it down, and I'm going to smile on my way back.
She's got 14 points. Deserves to smile, by the way, and an explosive third quarter for her individually here. Drive from Harris, tried to go off the high glass. Kind of a late foul call there. Looks like they got Donovan. So free throws ahead. Day Harris, another one of the really experienced players, a grad student, spent her last 4 years at Pitt. Don't forget, Saturday, December 16th, we have a college basketball quadruple header that starts at noon Eastern. But these are our featured matchups here. Virginia Tech hosts Vermont in Blacksburg at 4 Eastern. Then Virginia squares off against Northeastern. Those will be on ACC Network and the app. Harris checks out along with Freeman. Amari Robinson for Clemson has nearly outscored Duke in this quarter. She's got 14 points. Duke has 15 points in this third quarter. But Duke will, for the most part here, practically have the final possession. About a half-second difference between game clock and shot clock. It feels like a big possession, and they turn it over.
Sure, Duke didn't want a turnover right there. They've, you know, this Clemson defense has really had them just kind of second guessing and not really knowing where to consistently get their offense.
So still 8 seconds here if you're Clemson. Robinson has 19 points in the game. Tried to dip it down low, picked off, and they get the turnover at the end of the half, end of the quarter, a 14-point game after 3 quarters of action. Clemson, led by Amari Robinson, in charge. Levels down 14. Largest Clemson lead. They outscored Duke 24-15 in that third quarter. Thanks to plays like this, wreaking havoc on the defensive end once again, and they force a turnover as the possession arrow favors the Tigers.
Duke's still looking a little bit out of sorts on the offensive end. You see a bad pass there leads to the hustle play tie-up by Whitehorn, and the possession goes to Clemson.
When we went to shoot around earlier today, they talked about getting out and pressuring defensively, and they simulated it. Worked really hard on it.
Yeah, they've done a great job executing that today. They've controlled the game for majority of it. You see them here with the biggest lead that they've had all game right now, and, you know, Duke has a chance to get back in the game, obviously. It's a whole quarter left.
Yep.
But the way that they would have to do it would be by handling the pressure, by also executing a little better offensively and, you know, being able to attack the paint. They might want to try to win it all from the three-point line because they're a great three-point shooting team. But where they've had their success today has actually been in the paint. They're winning the paint points. You know, so, yeah, if they can string together some stops and kind of attack the paint on the other end, they can make it more of a ball game.
You mentioned to me it's felt like Clemson's getting better shots on this end of the floor offensively. Got a foul called here, I believe, on Robinson, who took quite a few of those really good shots and cashed in several times. The assist numbers would tell you that. The field goal numbers would tell you that. That Clemson's just getting the looks, while Duke, the team that went 0 for 6 from three-point range in that third quarter, they've kind of been a bit more forced.
Yeah, Clemson's played a great offensive game. They have gotten the shots that they want. They've gotten the ball in the hands of the players that they want to be scoring for them, and it's kind of settled everybody else down. I really like how they've played offensively throughout this game.
Conversely, another Duke turnover there. It doesn't feel like they can find a way to get the ball to the players that they want to score. Here's more of that backcourt pressure. The versatility of Amari Robinson at the forward spot, forcing the defense to kind of back off there.
there haven't been a lot of fast break points in this game, which at this point you probably would want to see Duke do, is maybe try to... It's a great take down a lane line by Harris. Right when you needed her to, she just makes a nice, solid heads-up play.
She's got 8. They're going for the steal there.
Veteran guard Day Harris, the little hesitation, gets around the hips of Thomas and just finishes at the rim for the easy 2.
Remember, ACC Network Basketball is presented by Ally tonight. ACC opener for both teams. And I don't know if a lot of people had a 16-point Clemson lead at this point in the game penciled in to how they thought this game would play out. But the veterans for Clemson, 4 different players in their roster with over 1,000 points, trying to bounce back from what was a 30-point loss to Auburn. Nice pump fake from Richardson. The drive, couldn't get the bucket. The rolls, the bounces, they have just gone Clemson's way tonight on their home floor.
I love the decision there. Definitely got to finish, but the decision is right. Put pressure on the defense and get to the paint.
Harris, another tough drive.
That was tough.
It was, and she's in double figures now with 10. One of 3 Clemson players in double figures today. Cable had a couple of threes in the opening half. Hasn't hit one yet in the second half. Clemson lead is at its largest. They have really put their foot down on this game, which began in the third quarter. Student section's loving it as we're Jazz getting to know the Clemson chants tonight. Down low, they go. What a pass! Harris to Whitehorn, putting the style points on it now. Largest lead is up to 20. 7:37 to go in the fourth. Clemson cruising at home. ACC Women's College Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we are all better off with an Ally.
Are you on your way?
Yep, coming.
And Mom and Dad?
Don't worry, they'll be there.
Happy anniversary!
Go beyond the expected with the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
Academy Sports and Outdoors Christmas hot deals are here. Shop up to 50% off game tables, up to 30% off Magellan Outdoors thermals and flannels, and up to $400 off safes. Hurry! Academy Sports and Outdoors Christmas hot deals end Sunday.
Surprise!
Dad?
Hey there, family. While you're shopping, get me a 5G phone. It's on my list.
Seriously? A better plan is Verizon.
They take this mess?
Very much so. Just trade in that old phone for a free 5G phone plus Netflix and Max.
Really should have just done that.
This didn't land. She didn't like that.
Honey, I immediately get it.
This holiday, turn any Google phone in any condition into a Pixel 8 Pro on us. And now add Netflix and Max to your plan for just $10 a month. Save big this holiday, only on Verizon.
They say there's a first time for everything. And this November proves it. It's the first time all 30 are all in. 6 groups where 8 teams advance.
These teams have all the star power
to conquer a brand new bracket.
This is must-see TV.
In the new NBA Cup. So the question is, who's going to be first to take it? It's in-season tournament time. It's NBA on ESPN time.
You have to have a dream, a goal. You have to be willing to work for it.
We are not going to stop chasing the dream. We cancel.
You look up not giving up in the dictionary, a picture of my wife would be there.
You're one of the strong ones, okay? Just remember that.
You're stronger.
My dad would be so thankful for all of the lives that have been saved.
We're an unflinching, undeniable force.
Just can't say enough about it.
My goodness! Unstoppable. That's our move. A new season of women's college hoops on the networks of ESPN.
The annual ACC Huddle Bowl preview special is Monday at 7 Eastern right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. They'll work down all 11 bowl games ACC teams are playing in, and look at how the College Football Playoff Committee's decision will impact Florida State. Of course, how it has impacted Florida State and playing in the Orange Bowl game. Take a look here.
Day Harris just having a tremendous impact on this quarter. There you see her not settle for the jumper. She pulls it back and gets all the way to the paint and finishes with the contact.
Mair, the jumper out of the break. Couldn't hit. Duke still hustling away, and they get another opportunity there.
A little bit of light for Duke. That's, staying with the hustle plays, getting on the offensive glass and getting a putback. And now you would expect to see them really pick up the pressure defensively and try to turn this Clemson team over.
Duke goes back into non-conference play after this one against Florida Gulf Coast on Sunday, December 10th. We'll have that one for you right here on ACC Network. They'll go back home, too, as Whitehorn got to the rim there.
And there you see Duke hedging in the ball screen and, changing up the coverage a little bit. And nice play by Whitehorn to just stay composed, back it up, and keep attacking.
Ruby at the line here. Detroit native, went to Detroit Edison, a powerhouse in the city of Detroit. And growing up, Ruby's mom worked for Detroit's Parks and Rec, and she would referee basketball games. When Ruby was just weeks old, she'd be on the sidelines, sometimes strapped to her mom, up and down the floor, soaking in the game. And that's when she initially developed her love for basketball. Just kind of soaking the game in at that young of age, and now living out her dream playing college basketball here at Clemson. Duke trying to get back into the offense. Another to Clemson deflection.
They have great activity, in that zone, playing with their arms wide. And shoot around, they actually showed on some out of bounds, maybe showing man and going zone, but they've had great success in this defense.
Rebound from Robinson, who joined the Clemson 800 Rebound Club, along with the 1,200 point 800 Rebound Club tonight. There's Whitehorn, who, in addition to developing a love for basketball at that young of an age, also grew up playing a ton of different sports, including boxing. That athleticism from playing all those sports, you see it in her game. Meanwhile, 6 on the shot clock here for Harris. Slipped in the lane and a late foul call on Duke.
Harris is really doing a great job at keeping the pressure on the paint. She's relentless to getting to that blue, to that purple. Is that purple? It's purple.
The darker purple.
Darker purple.
Talked about Duke getting back into non-conference play before they'll resume ACC play eventually in late December. Clemson will have Georgia State in their next game. Get some time off until then. That'll be on December 16th. Look at some of this defense here from Amari Robinson. Talked about her getting it done offensively and defensively today.
Yeah, she just leads her team. She does it on both sides of the ball. Here you see her come over from the help side, and great job defending without fouling and coming up with the rebound.
Inside of 6 minutes to go. Maybe an early conference play statement from Clemson. They have clamped down on this side of the floor really since the beginning of the third quarter. Roush is checked back in, and yet again they clamp down and force a turnover. I just can't get over how much they flipped the script from their last game on the Clemson side, where you had 29 turnovers yourself against Auburn. You turned that around. They just had 4 turnovers in the opening half. The message was delivered at shoot-around by their head coach, Amanda Butler, and they have listened to it today.
They really have. It's been fun to watch. And, on the other side, the Duke turnovers, they only have 13. You see them just committed one right there, but it's the types of turnovers where it just makes it seem like they have more.
This game has been close at times, but Duke has never led. Clemson's been in front from the start. Down low in the bucket from Inyang. Everyone's getting involved now. Eno Inyang. Talk to her teammates, and they'll tell you she's kind of the self-proclaimed team comedian. They see the smile on her face there, right on cue.
You love a team comedian keeping the atmosphere light. And here you see her getting great position down low and just turning over that left shoulder and finishing.
Duke hasn't been as efficient from three today as they have been throughout the course of the year. Third opportunity, and Thomas is able to finish. Thomas, another part of that really good freshman class. She was 29th in the class of 2023 in the ESPNW rankings.
In the last few games, she's really emerged, too. She's done great. She had a great game against South Carolina. She shot it well. She defended well. She really scores efficiently, too. When she gets in, she makes buckets.
Nice pass down low. Emsbo able to finish.
And there you see how Duke has success when they can play fast, when they can play with pace. So if they're able to string together some turnovers here, maybe get out in the open floor, maybe close this gap.
Clemson's just gotten everyone involved today. They had 5 different players score in the first 10 minutes of the game.
There you see Emsbo with the block. She averages 1.9 blocks per game on this Duke team that averages 7.6 blocks per game as a team.
And Emsbo, a player transferred from Yale. She was voted a team captain at Yale last season despite missing the entire year with an injury. And she's one of the vets that you feel like in a moment like this, you're down double digits, you end up losing the game by double digits. It's players like her, players like Kennedy Brown, who will really step up vocally moving forward. They have this year, but kind of the onus there to really take command of a younger team in a moment like this.
Yeah, and you see her still contesting shots at the rim. She gets the foul there, and another and one by Amari Robinson. But you saw on the other end, Emsbo got an offensive rebound, so she's definitely trying to keep this Duke team playing hard. But it's difficult with a player like Amari Robinson. You know, she's been tough all game. She really is a phenomenal player. The great penetration by Harris and just the easy dump pass to Robinson. And she finishes it with the emotion, that emotional leader for the Clemson Tigers.
You need your emotional leaders to step up in a game like this. Amari Robinson has done more than that. We talked about her story earlier in the broadcast. Also student teaching, waking up at 4:15 a.m. every day. The team being galvanized by that mission of her career-wise. And also coming together and practicing from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. as a nice step-through move from Akanwa turns into 2.
She's quick. She can definitely do some more of that. Just rip it and go from the wing, get into the paint, and finish.
Amari Robinson, 16 points per game. She's exceeded that today with 22. Some pressure here from Aluchi Akanwa. 6 on the shot clock. Drive and a rejection down low. Credit Brown for that. Can Duke turn it into 2? Mair's floater, strong, and a foul call. Looked like they got over the back on Brown.
And that's a tough break right there because that's a great defensive possession, led him to transition, couldn't get the floater to go, but almost had an offensive rebound. And then just a tough break with the offensive foul over the back.
Now bonus free throws here for Clemson. Danielle Roush again started on a Elite 8 team at Michigan. As you see Kara Lawson there, our officiating crew comes together. Roush has hit some shots today in a year in which she struggled offensively, so good to see some shots going down for her. As they're going to go to the scores table now.
Make sure we have the correct shooter at the free throw line.
Checking on the shooter here. Really our first review of the game. A lot of smiles in that Clemson huddle right now, and rightfully so.
Yeah, they played a great game. They have a lot to feel good about. Really took the lessons that they had learned thus far in the season and really executed them today.
The Again, they're just looking to see who the shooter is on what'll be Clemson bonus free throws.
I mean, they had Roush, but I think they will go with Elmore. To me, it looked like the push was, if the foul's on Kennedy Brown, then the push was definitely pushing the back on Elmore. I think they will change that to number 3, shooting free throws. See Elmore right there in front of Kennedy Brown. She goes up, and, you know, from that angle, it doesn't look like too much contact, but when you see it from the other way, you see the quick little push before.
It will be Elmore, like you said. They were changed that around. Elmore, the Ohio native, they call her Mac. Her first year starting and has been impacting this team immensely on the glass. This Sunday afternoon, we have a women's basketball doubleheader here on ACC Network. For you Duke fans out there, that matchup against Florida Gulf Coast we talked about, followed up by number 18 Louisville. They've won 4 straight, and Kentucky, rivalry matchup. Both those games also available on the app. Season in full swing now. First conference game for both of these teams. Shot goes down there for Mair. Clemson appears to be bound for a 1-0 start in conference play. Duke's next ACC game will be against Boston College. And that's at the end of December on New Year's Eve. Lead is up to 19 for Clemson now.
You saw Mair hit that last jumper for Duke, and there you see her taking another one. She's been quietly pretty consistent on the offensive end today. She has 13 points.
Nearly got the board there. Mair, the transfer from Boston College, mentioned that Duke will play their second ACC game against BC.
Here you see Clemson using the clock. Got a pretty big lead, but gonna take some time off the clock before going into their offensive possession.
Winding it down until they can celebrate tonight. Tough shot here. Why not? Just kind of sums up the night for Clemson as Day Harris nailed that contested 3.
Definitely looked like nothing good was going to come out of that. And, you know, when you have big-time players with experience, you know, you don't get rattled. Keep your composure. Pull up. Knock it down at the end of the clock.
Did she have time to see the basket there? She was pivoting.
She just got a feel for it. She knew where the basket was, and the way this game has been going, the way this half has been going for her, she's had a great half, you know?
You talked to me, and we were in commercial break. You mentioned, like, Clemson's gotten the efficient looks from 3 today, and they've knocked them down. I don't know if that was an efficient look from 3, but everything feels efficient tonight for Clemson.
It wasn't. But, you know, sometimes when the shot clock's running down, it's like 2 things. Sometimes they're like bombs and you get it and you're not ready to shoot. You got to throw it up. But then sometimes it's like, hey, I got to shoot it, you know, and then ends up being a good shot, goes in.
Last Clemson win over Duke was in January of 2020. Whitehorn with a nice finish at the rim. That was a 4-point Clemson win back on January 19th of 2020. And this one will be a little larger than that, with a statement to begin ACC play.
Whitehorn with the backdoor cut and finish. Exciting player to watch. She's great when she's slashing to the basket. She's only a sophomore. You know, excited to see how her career goes. She's got a bright future.
Cable, catch and shoot 3. Had time to set her feet and nailed her 3rd triple of the game. For Kara Lawson's team, if you're a Duke fan, how do you move forward from a loss like this to begin conference play?
You learn from it. I mean, there's still a minute left. First, you start by playing this minute out hard, taking that momentum into the next game. But you watch film, you go to practice, you look it in the face, you see what you could have done better. And then, you know, you have to have a short memory. You can't let the loss turn into multiple losses. You learn from it and grow and make the changes in the next game.
Foul called there on Duke. Of course, a frustrating night. I think you could definitely say they played better against South Carolina than they did today, at least in the second half of action. It's a Duke team with a lot of potential, a lot of youth. Just a matter of that playing out and coming together, as Maddie Ott will go to the free throw line here.
A Duke team with a lot of potential for sure. They're talented, they're young. It's a long season, a lot of opportunity to continue to grow.
After Maddie Ott's free throw goes down there, everyone who has played today for Clemson has now scored.
I love that as a player when the whole team scores.
It's a good feeling for a Clemson team that's scoring a lot more this year than they have in past seasons. 80 points on the board here. They've had 90 plus a few times this year, 100-point game as well. Inside of the final half minute now. Just 12 seconds to go, and a win that's going to be number 6 on the season for Amanda Butler's team. Started at shoot-around with 2 words, purpose and urgency. They looked like they had purpose and urgency right from the start as Mair hits the 3. But too little, too late. Clemson goes 1-0 in conference play. And a statement win on their home floor, bouncing back from a 30-point loss to win 80-60.